Hey everyone, how's everyone doing? So we should be having Chris live soon, Chris Rood. And I guess while we wait for him to come on, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about him. So he has 22.5 million dollars in assets throughout his career. So this is going to be really exciting to get to know him and talk to him. Okay, let's see. Hey Chris. Okay, let me see how to add you in. There we go. Just sent the request in.
Yo,
Chris, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so excited to talk about personal development with you and specifically your, personal development life path. So thank you so much for coming on. I'm so excited for this. And yeah, let's get started, I guess. Let's get started. So I guess to help the viewers, let's first start with your like where you are right now. So as in like what is like how like yeah, where you are like entrepreneurially, where are you right now?
Well, where I am now is not where I want to be, and where I want to be is where I'm trying to get to. Right? Um, I'm never gonna. I don't think anybody can honestly say they'll ever get to where they want to be. Right? Because once you get there, you're like, oh shit, it ain't that cool. I had the greatest time of my life getting there, right? And I think what people need to realize is that you'll never be satisfied with what you have ever. I mean, that's why billionaires get to become a billionaire, and what do? Now they're trying to take over the world, right? They're trying to do other things. So the real happiness is in the pursuit of your goal. I think is in the overcoming of the obstacles and the barriers and the limited mindset you put up amongst yourself inside your head, and then once you bust through that, you're like, shit, I wasn't even that bad. What's next, right? As human beings, our biggest, thing that we do every day, and we don't even know we do it half the time, is we play games, right? We play games.
Totally,
That's
100%.
all we do all day long is we play games. And the game of life and the game of entrepreneurship and business real estate is setting up a game that you can push through, push forward, have a barrier that you get through or a goal. And once you obtain that, you acquire a lot of happiness and fulfillment. But it's the pushing through where you get all the happiness, not the actual attainment of what you're looking for. Because once you obtain what your goal or your passion, you get to where you want in life, you're like, if you stop, you're unhappy, right? So
Totally.
totally. So when you look at these
Definitely have
retired
to be
people,
goal oriented because if
that's
you're not,
that's it.
you plateau and then that's when you see the depression or the laziness kind of come in.
That's right. And what you have to realize is that that's why a lot of people that retire at 55, 60, they drop dead in 2 to 5 years because they lost their game. The game
Hmm.
is in the hustle, right? I always tell my
Hmm.
students, you got to keep the hustle sacred. Like the hustle is sacred to me, right? I keep it like I love to hustle. People tell me all the time. I had somebody tell me the other day, you need to slow down, Chris. I said, maybe you should speed up, right? I don't want to slow down. When I slow
Yeah,
down, I'm not happy, right? I'm not happy when I slow down. If you look back at your life, and probably maybe some of you agree with this, maybe you don't, but the happiest times of my life is when I'm going full throttle ahead, freaking going for what I want. And yeah, is it painful sometimes? Do I have anxiety? Do I give myself induced panic attacks? Sure. But I feel alive, right?
hmm,
That's how you
totally.
feel alive. Take some risk, right? So,
Yeah, totally. You have to take risks and, follow your own path.
yep. So for me, my journey is constantly setting a new bar, new bar. I don't have an ever ending bar where I'm like, okay, if I hit this point, I'm going to stop because then I know I'll be unhappy. So I hit my goal and then I push through to another goal, right? Like you said, I'm at $22.5 million in holdings. I want to get to $100 million in holdings here in the next 3 to 5 years, right? And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to raise private
Amazing.
capital. So
Hmm.
with that said, you were asking, my where I want to be. That's where I want to be. I just want to keep building my real estate, you know, portfolio. I want to keep building a legacy for my wife, my kids, and I want to inspire people to do the same thing. And I want to help people, and I want to be the best me I can be, right? And and
Totally.
and the,
I think
and the
all of
only way
us
I can be the
achieve that.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. And the only way I'm gonna be the best me I can be is if I work on myself constantly, right? Because I'm only gonna get as far as my own personal development lets me get to, right? Jim Rome said it. Sorry, had to call it. Jim Rome said it best. He says, your personal finances seldom exceed your personal development. There hasn't been no more of a profound statement than that, right? So I know the better I get internally, right, in my mindset and in my personal development, then I know I'm gonna make more money. And that's been my observation over my lifetime, is that the better I get, the more money I make. Because my awareness comes up and I can see things that most people can't see, right? That's all personal development is. And when you say, well, Chris, what do you mean personal development? I mean, like working on yourself, like mind, body, spirit, reading books, going to mastermind, getting around the right people, having good ethics, doing the right thing, like skilling up, getting the right knowledge, right? Getting the resources and the tools you need to be able to push past what most people can't even get past, right? And it ain't gonna be
Mm-hmm.
easy. It's gonna be hard.
Oh yeah, we all have to work very hard, definitely. So to give like our viewers, I guess like a starting point from your base, when you were, let's say a teenager, because your entrepreneurial path started in your 20s, I believe, right? So
Yeah,
what would you say? Okay.
officially yes, but unofficially no. I was hustling and selling baseball and basketball cards out of the back of my book sack in fifth grade, making a
Oh,
hustle.
really? So with that being said, because that's kind of perfect. So at that time then, or in that group of time, like teenager or young kid, what would you say were the skills that came very easy to me, which helped you to, have the entrepreneurial mindset and move forward? What do you think were your skills that you had that helped you move forward?
Number one skill you need by far, any entrepreneur to tell you this, is you got to master sales. You got to master sales and communication, right? You're only going to be as successful as how well you communicate with people, right?
Yeah.
You have to better communicate. You have to be able to be persuasive. And a huge thing that not a lot of people talk about is you got to learn how to be intentional. I know what I want. I know how bad I want it. And I don't let anybody invalidate that. And I don't make excuses. I'm very, very intentional. I say, hey, I want that. Everything else needs to move out of my way. And people make excuses for themselves because they got low self-esteem and they don't go after what they want because they worried about what other people think about them because they have low self-esteem. You need to learn how to, like, listen, get out of your own way. Like, no matter if you do good or you do bad or you don't do anything, people are going to talk about you no matter what. You got to, what you need to do is be super intentional about what you want to put blinders on and don't listen to the critics, right?
Mm-hmm.
People that talk about you are the biggest losers, right? I find a lot of people hold themselves back in fear of what other people are going to think about them because as soon as they start moving toward their potential, moving toward their game in life that they want to, maybe they want to, I don't know, maybe they want to start a business. Maybe they want to be a real estate investor like me. But the first things they hear when they start doing that is they get excited about it and they start talking to other people that are naysayers or people that are not in that kind of a mind frame or mindset is that, oh, you can't do that, or that's for rich people, or that's who you think you are, right? So what happens is that what it does, and it may be coming from a brother, a mom, a dad, or somebody that they love, and maybe it was their intentions were good towards you, but they just don't have the same mindset, right? What you got to realize that 98% of the people on this planet are not going to probably agree with what you're doing. Like, entrepreneurship is a lonely journey. Entrepreneurship is it's a rare breed of people, right? They're very rare, like, because it takes courage, guts, and a lot of push through
Work.
to be an entrepreneur. And if you don't have the wherewithal, like, people will eat your lunch. I'm talking about the sheep of this planet, the people that are laying back, they only want to work 30, 40 hours a week. And they look at you as, who do you think you are? Why do you do that? And I'm telling you right now, like, the wind blows, they're going to try to take the sails out of you, the wind out of your sails, right? So it's very important to go to masterminds, get around the right people. I get around people that think like me. Another one of my secrets, you can't have high level conversations with low level people, right? And that's not to be ugly. Because if you
No,
start having high level conversation with people that are not in the same, wavelength, the frequency, and they're not vibrating at the same frequency as you. They're trying to do big shit, trying to make money, trying to live a better life, trying to scale up. Dude, all they're gonna do is laugh at you and basically tell you how stupid you are and talk about you behind your back. So it's super important to keep you don't need to have a bunch of friends, guys. If you need a bunch of friends, you got low self-esteem. You need high quality friends. You don't need friends, you need allies. I don't have friends, guys. I don't fucking hang out and chill. And you guys excuse my language, I'm from South Louisiana, sorry. I don't hang out, I don't chill, I don't barbecue and drink beer and talk about football or soccer, but I don't do that. The people I hang out with are allies. I don't have friends, I have allies. If we're talking about how to we're building relationships about, doing deals together, making money, talking about the future, ideas, possibilities. I don't talk about the statistics of the NFL football players or LSU and Alabama. I just don't do that, right? And some people say, well, maybe that's shitty, or you're an asshole, Chris, or you, okay, well, I'm an asshole and I'm shitty. That's just, I'm sorry. I'm not going to change who I am because you don't agree with that, right? So I think for the most part, it's the group think, right? People want to fit in, so they act and think like the rest of society, the group think, which is mostly, for the most part, very, very shitty, because they all do the same thing and they all don't get nothing done in life, and they all sit there and stroke each other's ego and pretend like they like each other when they all talk shit about one another behind their back. I don't do that. Like, I don't have friends. I have allies. All of my friends help me make money, right? So they're my allies.
Right,
So,
yeah. So they're like one and the same. You just make sure your friends are allies,
yep.
right?
Now, somebody said invest. Her Trammy said, can your allies be a friend though too? Absolutely, invest. But here's the difference. I become their ally first. We bring value to one another. We help each other make money, help me provide for my family. Then I know they're a friend. Then they can be my friend. I'm not being your friend first and then trying to be an ally. I'm going to be your ally first. I don't hang out with people that don't give me no value. It's as simple as that. If your friends, guys, if you hang out with a bunch of people and you call them your friends, guess what the value, guess what the end product that is. Most of the time it's a hangover. Let's be real. It's a hangover. That's what the value they bring to you. What's the value that my allies bring to me? More money, more reach, more, equity in properties, more opportunities, more money. That's it. If there's no value, I don't want to hang out with you. Simple as that, period. Now, some people can't handle that. Some people say it's a shitty thing, Chris. Hey, I'll take it. You probably just got low self-esteem and you need a bunch of friends. Call it for what it is. Listen, I don't want friends, guys. If I need a friend, I'm going to get a dog. They ain't going to talk behind my back. They're going to be nice to me all the time. People are weird, man. People got weird ways. Like, I'm not here to win a bunch of friends.
Totally, yeah. And especially I feel that people think, for example, like, oh, your way of thinking is wrong, but I think it's more misinterpreted, right? Because we all have that want that we're going to want to be with like-minded people. It's just some may think like-minded is drinking, whereas like us, we want to be with entrepreneurs because we get each other, we understand each other, and we're talking at different levels, right? Some people may want to talk to people that are only related to sports, like tennis, let's say, just because that's what they do. So it's not that we are unique, that we only talk about the things that we want to talk about. That's always how groups of friends and allies are, right? It's just some of us have like that entrepreneur mindset where we want to talk about, how are we going to make money? Like, what can we do? How can we be creative, right? So yeah, I think it's always a misinterpretation. People will try
It
to
is.
bring people down, and it's really like no judgments are happening. It's just we like certain things and you like certain things, I think that's really what it is.
That's absolutely what it is. That's dead on the money. You need to be having better conversations with people. If your biggest conversation is the statistics of NHL hockey or NFL or a college team, and all the statistics of every team and rookie of the year and all that bullshit, dude, you're probably not hanging out with me, because I couldn't tell you who won rookie of the year. I couldn't tell you. I don't even know who wins the Super Bowl half the time, because I don't give two shit. It doesn't bring me any value.
Me too. Me too. Or with music, with musicians and things like that, people tell me things, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't follow music enough. Like, I will listen to a song and I like it, but that's, to be honest, the extent of my knowledge and maybe knowing the artist.
Yeah. if they worry about their own statistics, like how much money they're making, what are their expenses, how can they increase their revenue, what's the equity in their property, then that's knowing your own statistics. That's probably a better frame of mind than knowing all the player statistics of how many goals they got or assists and points. And it's just, man, I think they're silly. I think people that do that is like, I watch these people that are putting on jerseys and freaking screaming, getting in fights in the stands over a team they don't even play for. A team they don't even play for. And I'm like, what are you doing? If you put that much time and energy into your own world, your own statistics, your own life, your own business, Jesus, maybe you could be on the field. Like, I don't want to be in the stands. I want to be in the field.
Exactly. That was actually one of my things when I was young, that I always played sports, and I would watch to learn the techniques, but I was never very into it and knew everything about the players, because to me I was like, I'd rather be practicing my sport, learning and improving, than just sitting there watching all the time. Like, I would watch a little bit because I would want to learn their techniques or learn if my techniques are similar to theirs, but that was the extent of my same thing, wanting to watch.
Absolutely. So then the day
So,
got, go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh no, I was going to say, if we could move on to what was your pivotal moment in your life that you felt like really started moving you towards more into, or like what made you realize that pivotal moment that you were like, I need to move forward, I need to get this going, I need to be an entrepreneur, and I just need to get my life going. What was that's pivotal moment in your life?
I would say I had two or three of those moments.
Mhm.
The earliest one I can remember is when I'm, 19, 20 years old. I'm in college and I'm working at restaurants as a server. And then I went to work for my parents, and I realized I had this emptiness inside. I was miserable. I couldn't work for somebody for some reason. I was hard headed, and I thought maybe something was wrong with me. Like maybe I'm a loser. I just can't work. And then I got fascinated with people that worked for themselves and had businesses. And I just deep dived at business owners, entrepreneurship, and started studying that. And then came up with an idea of how to start a business, right? And I came up when I was 21 years old. I came up while I was a junior in college. I came up with the idea of on-site oil change and car wash. So while I was in college, I went around and made some cards, and I started handing out to all these business owners. And in between classes, I would go and change oil, on-site oil change, and wash cars and make money. And I did it enough to where I could quit working the jobs I was working for my mom and dad and other people. And I felt fulfilled. I felt happier than I'd ever been in my life, right? Because
Mhm.
I knew now in retrospect why I got happy, and why I felt happy is because I was living up to my potential, right?
Yeah. And
If
sometimes
you,
until we make that change, do we actually know what the problem is? Because like you said, you're like, what's wrong with me? You're thinking
yep,
it's a problem with you, but it's really you're not fulfilling your needs.
yep. So once I felt, I started feeling really, really good about what I was doing, then I was like, okay, I'm moving in the right direction. Right. And I said, I want to do this, because I was always on a high. I was just happy. My whole tone level went up. I was like, okay, yeah, let's keep doing this. Right. And, yeah, I just kept pushing that. And then I would say, once I started that business, I was really, really freaking crushing it. I went and I started buying shops, right? I started buying, I bought 4 locations. By the time I was 25 years old, I had 4 locations, I had the biggest oil change, quick lube, and car wash in my town, right?
Hmm.
Then I was even more happy. But then, now let me back up. Now don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I got very, very uncomfortable, and had, times where shit, I almost had panic attacks, right? And basically, I was like, shit, I mean, this ain't for the faint of heart, right? Being a business owner, being an entrepreneur is not easy, right? So
Totally.
understand that it's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. It's like being an entrepreneur is like being a drug addict, right? Right. You got to be really, really high, and you go really, really low. You're really, really high, really, really low. If you want to work for
Totally.
somebody, and it's like, you're always the same. You stay flat, right? So
100%. Especially if you're
it's
wanting to grow fast, I feel like you really hit those highs and lows a lot faster too, which kind of can really be an emotional toll on you.
absolutely, absolutely. So with that said, I would say that was the first pivotal point. And then I scaled that business to 33 employees, 4 locations, doing really well, making money. I was really young. I was 25, 26. Then I was like, okay, I plateaued out. I couldn't do any more than what I was doing. And I got unhappy again. Like, and I was like, I got to do something else. So I got into real estate. Then it revigorated my energy again. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So once I got into real estate, I was like, oh shit, okay, yeah, this is cool. And then I started really crushing real estate. And then I had another crash in real estate because I didn't learn how to buy right. I didn't know how to go direct to seller and go buy at wholesale prices, which that's what I teach, right? I teach direct to seller marketing in the wholesale real estate space, but I didn't know how to do that at the time. And I bought bought about $3 million worth of single family homes. It's, 80, 90 cents on the dollar at the top of the market, and the market crashed and I got freaking hammered, right? I'm still selling off properties to this day that I bought 6, 7 years ago. I sold off a property 2 weeks ago. I lost 15, 20 grand on. Actually, it's probably more like 20 that
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh,
bought.
wow.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So was that your next pivotal moment that you would say?
Yeah. So that's when I realized that I was like, oh shit, I don't have enough information. I need to relearn what I learned. And that's when I got into wholesaling real estate. And I found that I didn't have enough information, but I found out about wholesaling, how to go direct to seller and capture more equity. And that was a total game changer. And that revigorated me again, because then I got a new piece of knowledge, right? And because I was buying at 80, 90 cents on the dollar, I wasn't buying discounted enough. Then I started learning how to wholesale, going direct to seller, sending out marketing campaigns. I started buying properties at 50 to 60 cents on the dollar, and I started crushing it again. And I started making enough money where I could cover my losses, right? Cover my
Mm-hmm.
losses. And then I literally was able to get rid of all those properties because I was making a lot of money wholesaling and flipping. I was able to get rid of those properties that I bought wrong. Some of them I lost money on. That one property last year I lost like $40,000 on. But hey, you live and you learn. And that's the vagaries of being an entrepreneur, up, down, But what I heard this from somebody the other day, and it made so much sense. It says the people that do the best in life, or the people that win in life, are the ones that stay focused the longest.
100%. Consistency and focus to me is something I've really learned, and specifically I'm working towards is the consistency part, because it's so true. You fall off the bandwagon and you can easily stop doing things and just let it go.
Right, right. So looks like we got a hater on here who's
I know, we can't wait to get that person off.
yeah,
Very
that's probably,
distracting.
yeah. Well, I don't care. Hey, maybe we should bring him on. He looks like he's got low self-esteem. Poor guy. Christina Grisnana. Yeah, poor girl. She must be on drugs, but it's okay. Hey, look, we understand. So with that said, it tells you, like, you're gonna have ups, you're gonna have downs, right? But if you stay focused long enough, you get through the ups and downs to where you get to a new level of doing well in life, right? And the older I get, the better I do in life, because I've stayed focused. I could have quit a bunch of times. I almost went bankrupt twice, right? But you have to stay consistent over a long enough time period, right? You just have to stay consistent. Simple as that. So, yeah, that's all it is. The secret is there is no secret, right?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's hard work and like that, the personal development and finding our paths of what will help us go forward. So talking about that then, what do you feel were your skills that you lacked in that you really needed to put effort in to go to the next levels? Like what were the ones that didn't come easy to you?
Like, in what way? Like, what? Say that again.
Your skills. So this, so we talked about the skills that you were good at. And basically, the sales and communication was the one where you excelled in. Now, where were the skills that you felt that you didn't excel in, but were needed to get further in your entrepreneurial path, in starting your businesses in real estate? What were the skills that you realized, you know what, to get to that next level, I need to learn this and improve on this?
Right. So, look, here's the thing about a skill, right? All a skill is a pattern of profit. It's a pattern of profit. Give you an example, right? the guy that invented the incandescent light bulb, his name was, what was his name? Anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's the guy that invented the light bulb. He got interviewed by somebody, and they asked him, they said, hey, you know, didn't you want to quit because you tried like 1,000 times how to figure out how to do the incandescent light bulb and you failed? You know, didn't you want to give up? He's like, no. He goes, I didn't want to give up. He says, all I did was figure out 999 times that I couldn't do it, right? And then I figured out that one thing that works. What did he do? He figured a skill is an exact way you do something. It's a technology of the knowing exactly what not to do, but the exact right thing to do. So if you think with that, then all you're doing in business is trying to figure out patterns of profits. So you're going to do a lot of things that just don't work. That doesn't mean you quit. It's just, you have to think in your mind, that doesn't, now I just figured out 10 more things that I know don't work. So I can check that off the list, And you're dialing in your skill set. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And until you finally figure out what works, and then you can scale that, what works. But it takes time, effort, and that's how you develop the skill. Over doing enough wrongs that don't work till you figure out what does work, and then you know it forever, and you keep doing what works, and you scale that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. Do you have a life experience that you would tell us about, like a story in your life where you saw that happening?
Yeah, I mean, even in my real estate business, right? In my real estate business, like trying different marketing things, and a lot of things don't work, right? Sometimes you do a lot of, you know, I'm in, you know, right now we're in 6 markets. We actually just opened up 2 more. We're in 8 markets now. There's things in different markets that just don't work, right? That just don't work. So I have to just, I don't take it, and I lose money. I lost money in it. And what I do is I just check it off. Okay, that doesn't work. Let's try something else. What am I doing? I'm dialing in a skill set for that particular market, right? Because everything is different. What is intelligence, right? Intelligence is being able to see similarities and differences, right? Similarities and differences. So if you can distinguish between different things, different markets, different marketing channels, then it makes you more intelligent, right? So, but if you generalize, the more you generalize, like this hater right here, how you generalize and call them baldy, what is it called, baldy, and I guess grow some hair, rich man. So yeah, so you see how he's generalizing because it's a lack of intelligence, right? When you generalize, it shows lack of intelligence because you can't differentiate, right? So
Yeah.
he thinks because I come on here and I'm talking that I'm a bad guy, I'm rich, I'm bald, yeah. So anyway. I digress. But what you have to realize is that it's going to be hard, and you have to get through the losses to get to the wins, right? Everybody's seen that picture of somebody with a shovel digging for the gold, and he's got literally, he's done 1,000 times and he quits at the 1,000th time. And in 1,010, if he just kept pushing, he was literally 10 feet away from going, he quit, right? It's no different in business. Like you're gonna lose. Like I lost when the Rona hit in February. Like I had launched a solar panel business with, a matter of fact, a partner of mine from Canada, and we all lost a bunch of money, right?
Yeah. I think a lot of people. The first quarter was really tough.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, you're gonna lose, right? You're gonna lose money. I got a car wash right now I've been losing money on for the past 6 years because the economy crashed over here and never recovered, right? And I just don't put any attention on it. But I've got all kind of other businesses that do make money, right? So it's just as an entrepreneur, if you're winning 80% of the time, you're doing really, really good, right? Even if you're winning probably 60% of the time, you lose 40. As long as you're in the black, dude, take the losses. If you have the mindset, hey, you never lose, you only learn, right?
Exactly. I think as long as you're learning from what happens is so important, because if you're not, that's where you're, again, stunting your growth, because you don't learn from whatever the mistake was or whatever it is. If you keep on making that a mistake again and again and again, that, will always create problems. And, it will, then you may end in failure. Whereas like we should always be like, fine, we fail, we learn, and we continue, and we succeed. We may fail again, but we learn and then succeed, right?
That's exactly right. And what you're doing, you're just dialing in your skill sets every time you lose, right? But then most people just give up and they quit because they get so upset, or they say they have a friend or a relative or a loved one that says, hey, see, I told you so. I told you not to do that. You see? And And you're going to get that. I've gotten it. You're going to get it. Right? So you have to listen, this entrepreneur game is not for the faint of heart. Right? So anyway, I mean,
Definitely have to be strong-minded.
you do, right? You do. And it's just a matter of, that's why personal development is so important. That you got to read books, you got to work on yourself, you got to do a lot of different things to work on yourself, because the journey is so hard. You got to be harder than the journey, or you're not going to make it.
100%. So what are you currently doing to keep on increasing your personal development? Is there anything right now that you're specifically into that you're
Yeah,
following?
I do the same thing. Like, I'm a creature of habit. I've been doing the same thing for 20 years. Like, I read books and get around people. I read books and I get around people. That's all I do. I read books and I get around people. I'm going to repeat it a fourth time. Read books and get around the right people. That's all you got to do.
Mhm.
And
You
if
can
you,
see which book I'm reading right now.
yeah,
I'm sure
slide.
you guys this one already.
That's,
My
that's, that's an awesome book. And that's one of the books I recommend to all my students. Right. So, it's just, that's all it is, right? It's just a matter of it. People want the one hit wonder. They want to do something once and get rich. Like, it doesn't work that way. Like, you do something and it works, even if it's a so slow, gradual gain, just do that over a long, long period of time, right? Do it over
Mhm.
a long period of time and you'll win, because you've created that pattern of profit, or pattern of value that creates value. I know that if I read enough books over time and I get around the right people over a given period of time, I improve, because I know that, because I've watched the last 20 years. I'm 40 years old, and that's what I've done. And I've just kept getting better and better and better, making more and more money. So I'm going to keep doing that. So if I don't need to reinvent the wheel, right? I just need to keep doing what I know works. And I know reading the right books, getting around the right people, listening to right people, going to masterminds, listening to people that are doing way better than me works. So,
Totally.
yep.
And especially, what in the masterminds that you're in, I remember you were saying before that mindset is so important and it's almost driven a lot around mindset. Can you talk to us about that?
It's everything, because it's not the how-tos of how you do a particular business, or, I mean, that's important, don't get me wrong. It's how you think about the how-tos. Do you even think you deserve it? Do you think that you're good enough? Do you believe you're actually going to be successful, right? Because it's intention, counter intention. So if you have the intention saying, hey, look, I'm going to try this, but in the back of your mind, you have counter intention and say, well, I might fail, but I'll give it a shot. Dude, you already lost, right?
Exactly.
You have to be super intentional, right? Super
Yeah.
intentional. And when you're super intentional and you block out all the noise and you just get laser focused, I'm talking fanatically focused, fanatical. Anybody that does anything of significance, anybody that does anything that's extraordinary, is fanatically focused to the point where they look like a weirdo. They seem like a crazy person. You get around me, you're
Hmm.
gonna think I'm half crazy, right? You're gonna think I'm nuts. I don't chill. I don't hang out. I'm always working on something to increase value in my life, make more money, help my family, do more deals. That's all I do, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, it's so true. It's so important, and exactly what you're saying even before, just consistency, and like you said, your personal development been happening for 20 years and it's been the same thing every day because it works for you, and that's like you're going to do what works for you, and consistency is so important.
Absolutely, it is. It's. I mean, look, you don't even have to be that good. If you just show up every day and you just work every day and just keep showing up, like, you don't have to be that talented. You'll outbeat the people that are super talented that show up for 2 or 3 times and they want it quick. And the tortoise wins. The rabbit doesn't win. The tortoise wins because they just show up and they keep moving, just keep moving, right? That's all you gotta do is keep moving.
Yeah. And exactly what it says in the slight edge, right? As you learn, you may start off that it may be flat, but as you learn, it does compound and then you really start moving up. It just takes that time. And I think that's where a lot of people will really stop, where it's like exactly what you said, right? Like, I want to be rich tomorrow or in a month. And it's just like it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work. And especially in real estate's not a get rich quick scheme. Like it's a get rich for sure, and it's a get rich slow. But most people can't, they can't handle the 5 to 10 year cycle it takes to even build up any momentum, right? I've been doing this, I've been in real estate since I was 25, and I'm 15 years, right? So it took me a while. And if I'd have known what I know now, I'd have done it a whole lot in a lot shorter a time. So that's why it's super important to hire a mentor, right? If you have a mentor, you just take all the knowledge that person's gained over X amount of years. He's probably spent hundreds of thousands of dollars doing that, and you condense it into a small package, and you get it now, all of it. So that's the trick, is how to condense time, and how to compress value and knowledge is by hiring a mentor, because you're going to get everything I got for the past 15 years, all the money I've spent. So that's the cheat sheet to entrepreneurship. Look at Michael Jordan mentors, right? I know Michael Jordan's mentor. I sat by him at the Growth Con at 10X, Tim Grover, right? You know, Warren Buffett, he's got mentors. Charlie Munger is Warren Buffett's mentor, right? Everybody's got a mentor, right?
Oh yeah, everyone needs to have a mentor, especially exactly even if what you said, like especially in nowadays where we want to move faster. If you want to move faster, you got to go to a mentor, because why not learn from their mistakes so you can just not make them and go faster?
Yep, that's exactly right. So if you can do that, but some problem is most people, they think it's a scam, right? I get that all the time, man. Coaching's a scam. Okay, well, stay. I like my scam, because I mean I'm doing pretty well in my life. I'm happy. I'm making money, and this is a great scam, right? So
Yeah. And I think also the reason why people think they're scams is because that's why we have so many different kinds of mentors, because you really need to jive very well with your mentor or understand them, because maybe they were where you were, and like you have that foresight to be like, okay, you were where I was when I was this young, but now I could see myself going forward because I have, similar personality or similar, skills. And so it gives that foresight. Whereas like someone else could be completely different, and you're like, I just don't get you. Like, exactly, this is a scam because you're not making any sense. Like, all the stuff that you're giving me is not working at all. But it's because we're all different people. Like, we definitely need to like get to meet so many different people to be able to actually find out who do we jive with, who do we see ourselves that, who do we want to be, who is going to be our, the person that we look up to, that we want to be like them.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. But at the end of the day, guys, this may not resonate with you. It doesn't resonate with most people. Most, you hear me talk, and all you want to do is hang out and chill and have a job and just live a mediocre life and not try to make any money or not try to do anything with their life. I don't resonate, right? So it tells you you can't have these conversations with everybody, and you can't talk somebody into wanting agreement, because that's what we do as entrepreneurs. We start a business or we get into real estate, and we're like, we want to tell everybody. I know that's what I did. I want to tell everybody.
Yeah.
And what
And
happens?
people get irritated, and they're like, I don't want to hear about it anymore.
Right.
And it's so funny because now I've gone to a point that I don't say anything about it until someone asks me. But and it's funny because I'm like, if you start it, it's going to continue. And I'm like, it may continue for a while because it's a topic that I love to talk about.
Right. So you can't tell everybody about what you're doing, because nobody gives a shit, right? So this is why it's important to get around people that do give a shit, who are trying to do the same thing as you. The best quality people on the planet are at masterminds. Simple as that. I mean, the best freaking experience I ever had, the best decision I made, is when I went to the first Growth Con. I think that was 5 years ago, when Grant Cardone put in the first Growth Con in Miami. It was only like, I think 2,500 people or 2,000 people there. And what he did was he put into a group, or into a room, everybody that thought the same. It was like going to business or church for business. Everybody thought the same, right? Everybody thought that, because I thought I thought I was a weirdo, right? But because I always trying to do something. When I got around other people doing the same, I was like, oh my God, I feel vindicated. I feel validated. Like there are other fucking weirdos like me trying to do big shit, right? And then you're like, man, and then it just re-energizes you, right? And that's the mastermind effect of getting around people that are trying to do better than you, or doing the same. And yeah, Vince said you either masturbating or masterminding or masturbating. That's right, Vince. Right. Yeah. So, but anyway, but yeah, guys. So at the end of the day, you could have all the information you need to be successful. But information alone were enough. Everybody be successful. That's not it. Like it's an inside job first. It's an internal job up here of psyching yourself out and making yourself believe you deserve it, and then not quitting and understand you're going to have losses, pushing through the losses, and just stay focused the longest, right? So
Totally, yeah. And it's exactly what you're saying. And that's something I feel like that I've really started noticing. Like, I mean, my health and my mindset was not mindset, actually. I never thought about mindset, but health-wise, I always thought that for me to be the best that I can be, I need to be a healthy person. And then now getting on this journey of personal development mindset, it really starts showing you like what you've been missing and how far it will take you. And the knowledge is only such a small percentage, like 5%. It's really like 90% mindset and personal development that takes you to wherever you want to go. If you want to start a business, if you want to start in real estate and become huge, whatever it is, it's really the mindset and development. And this is why, I've gotten so passionate about talking to people successful like you, that and understanding your personal development path, because it is so important and it is a much bigger percentage than we all think. We think like, oh, if we know how to do this, it's enough. And it's
yep.
really not that at all.
No, that's all it is. It's just an inside work on your mindset first, and then work on your business, right? The business is secondary to the way you think about your business and the way you think about yourself and others and your environment. And yeah, and you'll win if you do that and you focus on that over time, and take the losses on the chin and stride, and yeah, and be like this guy that's hating right here. Poor guy, dude. I think he said he's 14 years old. Man, you should probably stop masturbating and come to my mastermind. I know you masturbating right now. All this drama, all this shit you saying is 3
I
a.m.
know, and I don't have any idea how to remove him. I'll probably learn that for the next time, so it's not so
It's
distracting.
just it's a little 14-year-old. I've been probably in his basement in Europe, probably watching porn and doing drugs and smoking weed, and yeah, so it's all right. It's okay, man. Look, hey, just keep following me, and you'll get your mindset right there pretty soon there, Christian.
Sooner or later, right? It'll just start sinking
Yeah,
in, and then it's like you can't even say anything
yeah,
about it because sooner or later, it's like that. Like if you're around positive people, positive mindsets, sooner or later they're gonna convert. Because how can
absolutely.
you not with all that positivity and all that amazing, knowledge and you know, and then especially like that once if someone has that point where let's say they start reading books and then you just like that, those baby small steps will start taking you to the next level without even realizing it. And then maybe like a few months or so or a year from now, you're like, wow, what have I done? And I didn't even realize like how things went because it's tiny things that will really start, helping you get further. And you feel like they're so insignificant, like, oh, like what is reading 10 pages a day of a book gonna do for me? That's too small amount of an achievement to get anything done. But really, when you go start looking in a year or two, then you start realizing how this book has impacted you and how it started changing your mindset.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I'm sure it'll convert over.
Absolutely. No, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what's up. You need to read books 2 and 3 times, because every time you read it, you're a new you. So you're going to pick up, your awareness is higher. You're going to pick up things you didn't pick up before. I've read books. I got one book I love, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Waltz. I've read that book 7, 8 times. Love it. I try to read it once a year. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And so let's do one last question, and it will be about your lifestyle, your family, and balancing your work life with your family life, and how has that gone? Like, how was it to balance it? How was the struggle? Like, how did you deal with the struggles, or was it easy for you? And things just kind of meshed well? How did that go for you?
It wasn't easy. I got 5 kids. It definitely wasn't easy. I've been married for 20 years. Been with the same. My wife's my high school sweetheart. Been together since I was 16. I got her pregnant when I was 7. She got me pregnant when I was 17. and, but our life has been control chaos, right? Control chaos and sticking it out, right? And just keep doing the right thing, right? And know it's going to be hard, and just keep pushing, and understand that when you have kids, like I have 5 kids, right? Just because they come from my body and my wife's body, like they're all different. Like it was hard for me to accept, like my older son, like he has nothing to do with entrepreneurship. He's not a hustler like me. He doesn't want to, build wealth. He doesn't want to get into real estate. He doesn't want to do anything that I want to do, right? So, that was hard for me. So you have to grant beingness and let people be who they are. Like I have 5 kids. I'd be lucky if one of them even wants to do remotely what I'm doing. Hopefully maybe 2 or 3. But so with that was a big struggle for me in my 20s, is that, like, even in my early 30s, my older son just not wanting to do anything. And it's not until probably the last 3 years, I just had to like let it go. I'm like, hey, he's going to do it. It's his life. It ain't my life. I don't control him. He's just my son. Right. So that was a big hurdle for me, and giving him grace to do whatever he wants, and not try to get him to do what I want just because I think I'm right. That was huge for me with my mindset. And then as far as my wife, the biggest thing for our relationship is bringing her with me on my personal development growth, right? Making her, the first mastermind I went to, I had to trick her into coming. That's what I'd buy a Chanel purse if she came to Miami. She didn't want to come. She didn't give 2 shits. But I got her in the room, and when she got there, she loved it. And now she's drinking Kool-Aid, and and that was 5 years ago. Now she comes to all my masterminds. She reads books now. So you've got to. That tells you got to bring you are your environment. So the people in your immediate environment, your closest, your family, you definitely want to try to get them to level up, but you can't force them, right? I can't. My second son, Aiden, he's all in it. He comes to all the mastermind. He loves coming to my events. He listens to all my coaching calls. He loves that stuff. But your immediate partner, your wife or husband, is your most important person in your life. So you got to bring them with you, right? And sometimes you got to trick them, right? So this poor guy set up a new account, Real Estate Rood's wife, and pretended to be my wife. Dude, you are creative. You got a lot of time on your hands, man. That takes some doing this. That's funny, but
oh my God.
But yeah, I mean, dude, bring your wife and kids with you on the journey, but don't force them, right?
Yeah, that's actually where I'm right now. I'm trying to get my husband more involved, and we're doing baby steps, right? But it's like you said, like letting him go through his path, and just kind of keeping him, talking about it around him, and kind of like having that around. But and like that, he's slowly making his way, but it has to be in their own time when they're ready to do it. So I definitely feel you, because I'm right there where it's like I wish you'd be like, come on, like we're on it right now. Let's work on it together. But it's obviously, we're in different places, and also he owns his own business. So obviously, like trying to get into real estate is like too many things going on at the same
Right.
time.
Yeah, well, you just got to get them to drink the Kool-Aid on a gradient scale. Just give them a little bit. Problem with us is we get excited and we want them to drink the whole gallon, right? Just give them a sip of it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
It's like just down the whole thing and you'll be good to go.
right, exactly. But no, I appreciate you having me on. Guys, if you're interested in this, you like this kind of content, this is what I teach in my my mastermind and my coaching. A lot of it's mindset. A lot of it's, do we have a lot of content on real estate? Absolutely. We tell all the different tactics, strategies, but you got to get this piece right first, right? Before you can really scale a business. So level up. If you're interested in my coaching, go to chrisrood.com, book a call with me, or just inbox me, and dude, I'd love to help you, right? And if you want to,
Awesome.
I got a mastermind coming up in October 22nd, 24th at my beach house in Destin, Florida. So if you're interested in coming to that, inbox me. I know a lot of you guys from Canada, probably, I don't even think you can cross the border right now.
No. Borders are still closed. But thank you so
Yeah.
much. It
Yeah.
was so much fun chatting with you and getting to know you when it comes to personal development. So, and I'm sure everyone also enjoyed hearing your stories. We saw like lots of feedback come back. So, thank you so much. And it was so awesome having you on. And hopefully next time we'll see what the next topic may be.
Absolutely. Hey, I appreciate you. Keep skilling up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye, Chris. Bye, everyone.